Despite the fact that she is involved in a political transaction, a racial controversy, and a contract with Nike, which resulted in her being offered a bargain basement deal, she has the goal of becoming the best basketball player in the world. The company Nike has informed her that they will not promote her until they have completed their promotion of Asia. Because Nike has made the decision to withdraw from the market, Wilson will not even release a commercial featuring Caitlin Clark or a shoe featuring her. In recent years, the corporation has been in a state of collapse, and its worth has decreased by more than $100 billion since 2021. The situation became so dire that a large number of individuals asked that their CEO be dismissed, which ultimately resulted in him being forced to. Is there a decline in the popularity of sports? However, there is some good news. Nike has signed one of the few athletes who could make billions of people think of Michael Jordan. This athlete is one of the few generational athletes. Regarding Nike, what exactly is the current scenario, and what part does Caitlin Clark play in this situation? Not only Tiger Woods and LeBron James, but now Caitlin Clark as well. Nike has no intention of releasing a Caitlin Clark shoe, despite the fact that she was awarded the WNBA Rookie of the Year award unanimously. Not at all. The official explanation provided by Nike is that Caitlin signed a deal in April of this year that was for a period of 8 years and may be worth up to $28 million. Through this transaction, Nike will be able to make a profit, particularly with regard to a signature shoe. Blatantly false information, who or what are they trying to hide? The plot is spiraling out of control at this point. Nike is pushing products that are no longer relevant by taking use of a marketing opportunity that has been available for a generation. How come this is taking place? Let's begin with the financial aspect. At the time of Caitlin's explosion in college, she had already signed a contract with Nike that was worth completely nothing. Not only was she twice as popular as Angel Reese, who finished in second place, but she was also 4 times more popular than the most popular male player, which was something that had never happened before. Her level of popularity was so high that she became the most popular college player in the entire country. She was chased by a number of shoe brands after she began her professional career. An astonishing detail about Caitlin was brought to light when Aja Wilson, who had just been awarded another Most Valuable Player award, displayed her shoe. The sneaker that Wilson is working on, which began its development in 2023, is expected to be published in the spring of 2025, according to this plan that spans 2 years. In the years 2026 and 2027, the Clark sneaker might go on sale in retail establishments. She was announced by Under Armour to be the brand ambassador for the Curry brand. She went with Nike because of the way they advertised her while she was still in college, despite the fact that Adidas and Nike also made bids. Despite the fact that it was not exactly imposed on the general public, the procedure is challenging and requires the participation of Clark and the assistance of the Nike team, in addition to the production of millions of pairs and the establishment of a marketing campaign. 20 years ago, Nike was able to recognize that, hey, let's get LeBron's shoe out here. This guy's going to be a big deal. This was a sign that the company was both agile and visionary enough to make such a decision. When it came to Caitlin Clark, however, they were unable to accomplish this for whatever reason. Because of this, there has not been a single Nike commercial featuring Clark in her professional capacity, let alone Zinc in a commercial featuring Caitlin Clark. If Nike claims that their 4 years as the most famous athlete in the world are the basis for all of these television ratings that have not included a single Nike commercial, then they are being dishonest. Additionally, shoe brands expressed interest in signing LeBron James to a Reebok contract in the year 2003. Both Adidas and Nike were eager to sign him, so they made a compelling case for a signature shoe of their own. Nike even started working on the shoe before he joined with the company, but they didn't want the word to get out, so they came up with the code name Air Zoom Noble LeBron written backwards. Because it was so evident, they made the decision to go with Air Zoom Generation while LeBron was still in high school around that time. They commenced the process of making a shoe for him without informing him, with the intention of fully overwhelming him, and it was successful. Do you mean to tell me that Nike has grown so incompetent in the production of shoes that what used to take 3 months now takes 3 years? There is something else going on in this situation. After signing with Nike, LeBron James made his debut in the NBA wearing the LeBron ones. Despite the fact that Caitlin is smashing records while wearing Cobes, they are making a concerted effort to keep her out of the public eye. Is it possible that this was the goal, to get her to sign one of the longest agreements ever made, and then afterwards to push her away because of the fact that Nike is focusing its attention on another individual. According to some who are in the know, A.A. Wilson has something to do with Asia Wilson, who is a Nike athlete and the WNBA most valuable player. However, the issue extends beyond Wilson and encompasses the culture of the firm, which is more concerned with suppressing criticism than that of creating it, as Nike used to be. Ethan Strauss, a well-known and connected writer, stated on Substack that, based on interactions with insiders, it is absolutely related to NBA MVP and Nike athlete A.A. Wilson. Strauss's statement was based on the journalist's knowledge of the situation. At the time when Caitlin signed her deal with Nike, which was worth $28 million, there was a provision for. A great deal of criticism on social media. Indeed, a headline that appeared in a major daily, the story goes on to say that Caitlin Clark is going to get her very own pair of sneakers. Even while it is a step in the right direction for women's basketball, this is the reason why many people are upset. What are the reasons that individuals are getting upset about the arrangement? According to the opinions of some fans, the only players in the WNBA who wore distinctive shoes were white guys. Many people believe that A.A. Wilson, who played for the Las Vegas Aces and had not even played in a single WNBA game yet, deserved to have been the first to receive her own shoe before Clark. Because of this, it is possible that Nike fools who are not engaged in trade were deterred. Caitlin Clark is being treated in an insanity that is beyond comprehension. The Women's National Basketball Association, WNBA, is committed to diversity, equity, and inclusion. It's a loss for business and a lack of foresight. So it's not that Caitlin isn't talented at basketball, it's just that it's unfair and racist to treat her in this manner. Why would Nike care about what produces money rather than what is fair? And even more importantly, why would they be willing to compromise? The purpose of this is to bring attention to the racist motivation. If they had pursued the most lucrative course of action, it would not have been such a significant topic in the future. The link that Ethan Drew established between Allen Iverson and Tim Duncan was extremely beneficial. However, there were no complaints made about justice, despite the fact that it is evident that Iverson was the far superior player. The shoes that Tim Duncan wore were put through 2 rounds of testing before Nike decided to discontinue them due to low sales. What is the name of the person who did not care for Tim Duncan? Should A.A. Wilson be comparable to Duncan? Despite the fact that Caitlin Clark's circumstance is unique, it is not because she takes pleasure in being pushed by Nike. The majority of people would welcome the opportunity to be shown on billboards and in advertising since it is lucrative. On the other hand, it appears that she is in agreement with the idea that it is racist, as demonstrated by the comments that she made to her teammate Kelsey Plum while she was seeing another white athlete. It was Paige. The Bucker's Paige is a lot like you in that she is conscious of how her privileges lead her to that level and is obviously excellent at basketball, but she also understands her advantage. This is something that I find very fascinating about Paige. They don't want to bother A.I.A. if she is the best female athlete that Nike has ever produced. Consider the criticism that Caitlin would have received if Nike had provided her with a sneaker at the beginning of the campaign. The response from Plum was thank you, but the response from A.A. implies that PA's luxury has helped her reach to the top of the competition. Undoubtedly, she is also quite skilled in the game of basketball. Caitlin Clark was reprimanded by the United States of America's head coach in a tweet sent out by the Women's National Basketball Association, WNBA, on the inaugural. In spite of the fact that Caitlin Clark and other teams were featured heavily in the preseason game, the coach of both the Lynx and USA emphasized that there were other teams competing tonight in addition to Caitlin Clark and others. With the W, there are multiple players. A WNBA and Olympic coach used the hashtag "a 22-year-old woman is furious over a 22-year-old's preseason debut," which caused a lot of people to feel dissatisfied. However, that wasn't the only thing that caused distress. Considering that Caitlin had not yet earned the right to be on Team USA, came as a surprise that she was not chosen for the team. That's not envy at all. It's a decision that has to do with basketball. After that, Caitlin was selected to the WNBA first team despite the fact that she was a rookie and led all rookies in both points and field goals. Aids in as a result of her thefts, minutes, and leadership in assists and three-pointers among all players. She finished 4th in the voting for the Most Valuable Player award thanks to her performances. The Washington Mystics recently played home to Caitlin's team, the Indiana Fever. In order to accommodate all of the supporters, the Mystics were forced to transfer their game to the Wizards Arena, which resulted in a record number of people attending the game. The United States of America ultimately admitted that it was a mistake to leave her off the schedule, despite the fact that she is genuinely that outstanding. In spite of the fact that the typical cost of a WNBA game is approximately $300,000, her first playoff game was seen by more than 1 million people on television. The roster was incorrect. The question is, what about Nike? Is it true that they are terrified of the criticism that will be posted on social media before they give Caitlin Clark her own sneaker? Do you not believe that the reason why the CEO was forced to resign is pretty obvious? If you have any thoughts, please share them in the comments section below.